to start the year, right? Does that look right? You tell me. I can move it more to the center.
Maybe a little bit more to the center. Great. Thank you.
I slipped and fell.
Coming up with just a bit of stories.
Not that exciting.
Okay, little skiing accident or anything like that? Just fall down. Did surgery too?
No, thank goodness.
I did mine 14 years ago. Fell, okay, at work, okay, when I got up, so I had surgery to put it back together. And I'm used to the nose and those are acting. And see, so she was, oh, no. You can still drive it. See, I was lying right, that was done. And at the time, my wife that had me, so it was fun. Well, good luck, how long you have to be in there? Boy, that goes on in the winter time. But we haven't had any snow on the ice. Good luck. Yes. Yes. I can open the ark for Elena, okay, and limit the number I can.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Are you okay?
Okay.
I think you could sit during the
She dances slower right there. You have to go as far. That works. That works.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's nice to have all of you here with us this evening for our Shabbat service, our last one of 2023. And we will begin this evening with Hine Ma Tov, singing of how good and pleasant it is for us to be together with one another on page 10. Page 10.
Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
And it's a pleasure to welcome up Linda Berlin, past president of Congregation Shalom, to light our Shabbat candles this evening. As you bring so much light to our community, it's a joy to have you welcome in the light of Shabbat for us. We are on page 2.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We sing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We turn to page 14, and we'll read together. We'll read responsively on page 14. Sing to Adonai a new song. Sing to Adonai all the earth. Sing to Adonai, bless God's name. Proclaim God's victory day after day. Tell of God's glory among the nations, God's wondrous deeds among all peoples. For Adonai is great and much acclaimed. God is held in awe by all divine beings. All the gods of the peoples are mere idols, but Adonai made the heavens. Glory and majesty are before God. Strength and splendor are in God's temple.
Let the heavens rejoice and the earth exult. Let the sea and all within it thunder, the fields and everything in them exult. Then shall all the trees of the forest shout for joy at the presence of Adonai, for God is coming. For God is coming to rule the earth. God will rule the whole justly and its peoples in faithfulness.
We turn to page 24 as we welcome in Shabbat with Shalom Aleichem. This is a song that is traditionally recited on the way home from synagogue. There's a tradition that the tradition, not the song, that angels will guide a person home after Shabbat services back to their home to begin a Shabbat of peace. And so we welcome in those ministering angels of peace to provide us with a Shabbat of peace as well. We're on page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei HaMelachim, Hakadosh, Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei HaMelachim, Hakadosh, Baruch Hu. Barechuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei HaMelachim, Hakadosh, Baruch Hu. Tzeitichem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei HaMelachim, Hakadosh, Baruch Hu.
We turn to page 27 as we read responsively at the top of the page, "Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair.
Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days, lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways."
We continue with Chatzi Kaddish on page 26.
Yitgada v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedecho Beit Yisrael, bagala uv'izman kari v'imeru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach, le'alam le'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'halal shemei dekudeshach. Brichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, v'imeru Amen.
We read together at the bottom of page 27, "Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence." We rise for our call to worship the Baruch Hu on page 28.
Baruch Hu et Adonai המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
We continue with the prayer for bringing on the evening and setting the stars and the moon in their course in the sky, Ma'ariv Aravim, on page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, bechokma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו, בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. We continue with Ahavat Olam on page 32.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shochbeinu uvkumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu Orech yameinu Uvahem nege yomam valayla Nege yomam valayla Ve'ahavatcha al tasir Mimenu le'olami Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Ohev amo Yisrael
We continue with the watchword of our faith, the Shema, proclaiming God's oneness.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated. We turn to page 36 for Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We turn to page 39 to read responsively just before we sing Mi Chamocha, the song that our ancestors sang just as they crossed the Sea of Reeds from bondage and slavery in Egypt, free to become their own people, worshiping their own God. We'll read responsively. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
מי כמוך בעלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים. זילי, זילי, ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כיפד אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We turn to page 43 for Hashkivenu. This is a prayer our ancestors traditionally recited at nighttime, a time of uncertainty and unrest for them. While we don't have the same fears or uncertainties that they did, we certainly have our own that might surface at night. And we ask, too, for God to provide us a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace and God's guidance. We'll read together at the top of page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei Sukkot Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. We turn to page 44 for Yismechu.
ישמחו במלכותך, ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי שבת וקוראי עונג, המקדשי שביעי, המקדשי שביעי, כולם ישבעו ויתענגו מטובך. ובשבי רצית בו וקידשתו, ובשבי רצית בו וקידשתו. חמדת ימים אותו קראת, זכר למעשה וראשית.
We continue our service with the tefillah. We rise together on page 46. We'll begin with Adonai Sifatai.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el hagadol hagibor v'hanora, El Elyon, gomel chasadim tovim, vekonei hakol, v'zocher chastei avot ve'imahot, umevi geula livnei v'neihem, lema'an shemo be'ahava, melech ozer u'moshia u'magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav lehoshia. Mashiv haruach umorid hagashem, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamolcha ba'al gevurot, umido melach, melech memit, umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
You may be seated. We continue on page 55. In the English, may these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We turn to page 56 for Ritzeh.
Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu be'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam be'ahava tikabel u'tehil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael Yisrael amecha קורא על פני אל עבדיך וחוננו שפוך רוחך עלינו ותחזינה עינינו בשובך לציון ברחמים ברוך אתה
We turn to our Hoda'ah prayer, our prayer for thanksgiving. This is a prayer for all the things that we are grateful for. And on this last Shabbat of 2023, I would love to hear from all of you the things that you are grateful for in the past week or in the year as a whole. So if you will share one thing you're grateful for, and then we'll all say together, Modim Anachnu Lach, at the end of each one. Grateful to be together with family. Modim Anachnu Lach. Grateful to have sister's family in town to commemorate your father's yahrzeit. May his memory be for a blessing. Modim Anachnu Lach. Anyone else have something they're grateful for either this week or from the year as a whole? Cantor?
Well, let's see. I feel like looking back, and I feel like looking forward too. Should I wait? How about I'll just look back for now.
Okay.
And be grateful for another secular year in this beautiful city and this wonderful, faithful community of ours. And so I'm very grateful.
Modim Anachnu Lach. Grateful to be here with all of you and to be healing slowly but surely. Modim Anachnu Lach. We will continue our service with our prayer for peace. On page 60, we will read together, "Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people, forever. For you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom." And at this time, our thoughts turn to those in need of a prayer of healing, a refuat hanefesh, a refuat haguf, a healing of body, a healing of soul, a refuat shlema, a complete healing. Our congregational community is thinking of these dear members: Shandel Bat Frida Malka, Julie Borikoff, Margot Raz, Carol Dubin, Sharon Rotman, Steve Teplinski, Esther Cohen, Lisa Furstad, Hachazan Sarah Rachel Bat Yocheved Alexander, Avram Ben Naphtali, Sophia Rubenstein, Ilana Himmelfarb, Marla Chakowski, Michael Sychek, David Rotter, Natalie Cohen, Keith Mandel, Isla Batnatan Vashoshana, Mark Cook, Dr. Susie Mendelson, Michaela Hellenberg, Michal Stroud, Susan Garrison, Ron Slavin, Peter Rotter, Roger Cook, Neil Pinsky, Layla Rosen, David Kleinman, Al Rosman, Wendy Schuster, Ann Becker, Kathy Baker, Hope Marins, Janet Van Zyl, Ann Katz, Mosi Ramirez, Diane Redman, Mark Ackerman, Ruth Resnick, Ronald Barmazel, Jeff Zemmel, Carolyn Newman, Devorah Leah, Yocheved Sarah Leah, Kelly Adiniak, Richard Kranzberg, Ricky Spiegel, Benjamin Mark Hirsch, Carol Rort, Wendy Pollock, Terry Haman, Aviva Bat Arya Ve'ahuva. We turn to these words of Misha Berach on page 253.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mikor HaBracha Le'imoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe Berach Imoteinu Mikor HaBracha La'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
With those words of healing echoing in our minds, we take a moment now for Tfilat Halev, the prayers in your heart.
Leratzon imre fi vehegion libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri vegoali. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable Adonai, my rock and my Redeemer. Iu leratzon imre fi vehegion libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri vegoli. Adonai tzuri vegoli.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
This week's Torah portion, Vayechi, is the final Torah portion in the book of Genesis. Our patriarch Jacob, whose name had been changed to Yisrael, one who wrestles with God, had reached the end of his life. He called his son Joseph to his bedside to promise that Joseph would take him to his final resting place in Canaan with his ancestors Abraham and Isaac. The portion continues with Jacob and Israel's blessings and a few curses shared with each of his sons and grandsons. He described them through vibrant images, his words specific to each family member. As we come to the close of the year 2023, we have many blessings of our own that we wish to bestow upon our family and friends. What are the unique characteristics of those we love? How can we tailor our words to share the gifts that we see in them? Are there blessings that we wish to receive ourselves? The close of the year is a time for reflection on the year that has passed and bringing our hopes into the year to come. Though this is the secular New Year, we do think of those thoughts all the same. It's another opportunity for us to do so. And we'll take the time to share and be with the ones that we love and share our hopes and dreams for not only ourselves, but those who love us and those who we love. So I invite you to take this Shabbat to reflect on the blessings that you have or the blessings that you'd like to see in the year to come. And we will see you in the next year, 2024, if we don't see you before then. But for Shabbat on a Friday night, we'll see you in the next year. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We will continue our service with Aleinu on page 282. We rise as a community.
Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, laten gdula le'otzeh breshit, shelo asanu kigoyei ha'aratzot, ve'lo samanu kimishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, ve'goraneinu kechol ha'olam. ואנחנו כל
You may be seated. We will turn to page 259. Actually, I apologize. You may rise again for the prayer for the state of Israel on page 259. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Avinu Shebashamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go'alo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Ge'ulatenu, Hagen Aleha be'avrat chasdecha, Ufros Aleha Sukat Shlomecha, Ushlach Orcha v'amitcha l'rasheha, Sareha v'yoatzeha, V'taknem be'etza tova milfanecha, V'natata shalom ba'aretz, V'simchat olam leyoshveha, V'nomar Amen. You may be seated. At this time, our thoughts turn to loved ones who are no longer with us. And though they are no longer of this physical earth, we hold them in our hearts and in our minds. They guide us each and every day. We think of those in our community. We commemorate the lives during the period of Shiva for Umi Druck, Eileen Hirsch, Jamie Kryman, Howard Pollack, and Mark Sumner, and those during the period of Shloshim of Joyce Altman, Avraham Avichai, Phil Dembski, Rabbi David Ellenson, Shirley Goldman Herzog, Ann Katz, Elaine Keller, Lawrence Lauwasser, Daniel Allen Nerid, Cantor Judith Ovadia, Robert Rotter, and Helene Wheel. And we commemorate the lives of those whose yahrzeit occurs: William Baum, Isla Mae Berkowitz, Robert Bernstein, Lori Blumenfeld, Marion Brown, Charles Cohen, Joanne Essler, Otto Feller, Max Fishman, Sidney Goldman, Beverly Ann Goodman, Joseph Himes, Joyzelle Y. Howards, Leo Irvings, Gary Isaacson, Mamie Kaiser, Leah Kelman, Harvey R. Kippen, Isaac Kippen, Maurice F. Kippen, June Kaufer Kraus, Philip Kurzer, Maurice Lerner, Herman Levin, Robert Lewinauer, Shirley London, Herbert Maselman, Carl Maines, Joseph Mermont, Daniel Margolis, Esther Matras, Jacob Meister, John B. Moser, Melissa A. Nye, Herbert A. Oxman, Rosalind Pillay, Stanford Stan Podell, Myrtle Rappaport, Eugene Sadoff, Maxine Peggy Sadoff, Milton Sattel, Ida Schweitz, Cecilia F. M. Schiffman, Mel Schnoll, David M. Shuckett, Isidore Schwartz, Charles Shirkow, Carl Sohn, Charles Steiner, Harry Toplinski, Edward Weber, Jeanette Weber, Sally Weisbush, Jack Weiss, Bertha Wallach, Julius Sack, and Harry Zaret. If there are loved ones whom you are thinking of who were not named or whose names should be pronounced differently than how I pronounce them, I invite you to share them at this time as my eyes meet yours. In addition to those loved ones we hold in our hearts, we also think of those who perished during the Holocaust, as well as those who have died due to acts of war and terrorism around our globe, especially in Israel and Gaza at this time. We also think of those who have died due to xenophobia and racism, as well as those who no longer have anyone to say Kaddish for them. We turn to these sacred words of Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, on page 294. We rise as a community. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shmei rabbah, be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayachon uvyomachon uchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'almei almaya, yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yit hadar v'yit aleh v'yit alal shmei dekudasha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. V'yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. And together we say, Amen.
Amen.
You may be seated. And at this time, we turn now from sorrow to joy, as both emotions are often mixed within our tradition and our lives. We turn to the life of our congregation with a few announcements. January 6th at 7 p.m. is adult trivia night here at Shalom. There will be trivia, snacks, and fun, so please RSVP. Come with a team of 4 to 6, or join alone and make a team when you get here. Join a team when you get here. Our first Sunday back for religious school is January 7th at 9:30 a.m. Religious school families, come join us and enjoy Winky Cakes, a pancake breakfast generously sponsored by the Women of Shalom in Clearfield Hall. And Temple for Toddlers is also that day at 10 a.m. in the chapel. You can register online or reach out to myself or Brian Avner. Family Shabbat with 4th grade participation is on January 12th at 6:45 p.m., where our 4th graders and our youth choir will help lead us in worship with an oneg to follow. On Sunday, January 14th, Voices for Justice has their Sunday forum for Martin Luther King Jr. weekend at 10 a.m. in Samson Sanctuary. Our confirmation class will share personal reflections on their experience on the civil rights journey with Tzedek America in the South. And also on Sunday, January 14th, we have a 1st through 3rd grade youth event at Rock and Jump at 1 p.m., so please RSVP for that by January 9th. And next on the list is movie night for young families on Saturday, January 20th at 5 p.m. We'll start with Havdalah, and then we'll have dinner, followed by Toy Story. Please RSVP. Next, Shabbat Shirah, celebrate Shabbat Shirah, our Shabbat of song, on January 26th at 6 p.m. with special guest Grammy Award winner cantor Doug Kotler and our own cantors Perper and Steinsnyder and the Shalom Adult Choir. Is there youth?
No.
Okay, with our Shalom Adult Choir as well. And Sunday, January 28th, after religious school, 4th through 6th graders, join us for an afternoon of drama, fun, and improv games, including lunch. From 11:30 to 1 p.m., please register online by January 23rd. If your child is in 6th or 7th grade, we invite you to join us for Shabbaton at Azrui, Friday, February 2nd, leaving Shalom at 4:15 and returning at 6 p.m. on Saturday evening. It's going to be a blast. I'm very excited for it. If you have any questions, please reach out to Brian Avner, our Director of Congregational Learning, or myself. RSVP is online by January 15th. Last but certainly not least, join us for Shabbat morning Torah study tomorrow at 9 a.m., followed by services at 10 a.m. in the chapel and a community luncheon afterwards. Have a safe, healthy, and happy secular new year, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Well done, Rabbi.
Thank you. We have a lot going on. It's really lovely.
Yep.
And we will continue our service on page 5 with Kiddush. We'll rise together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, Ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen.
L'chaim.
And for our,
Go, say it.
I was just going to say, for our concluding song, Cantor,
Page
what have we got?
321. I won't tell you who, but a little bird said, you know what? It might be interesting to combine the words of Adon Olam together with Old Lang Syne. And I thought, pretty cool. So let's try it. We're going to do the first and last verse. A little of the syllabification might be a little bit askew, but just play along, okay? Adon Olam. Adon Olam asher malach beterem kol yitzir nivra le'et nasa bechefzo kol azai melech shemo nikra. Last verse. Beyado afkid ruchi be'eti shan ve'aira ve'im ruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira.
Shabbat Shalom.
And Happy New Year!